What's going on? Born for Sports. Salute to Nick Nation. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you like and subscribe to Born for Sports. Well, this wasn't a fun one tonight, fellas and ladies and gentlemen, I should say. This was not a fun night tonight to see the Knicks play this way and basically just let the game get away in the second half. Hey, we're gonna talk about it. But first thing you got to do, you got to give credit to Boston. Let's get that out the way. They had a real good second half. They came to fight. You knew they were not gonna go out like chumps because they're the champions. They showed some pride tonight, and hey, the Knicks didn't match it. Bottom line. There's a lot of factors we're gonna talk about during the game, but let me just get that out the way and give them credit. Because, man, it wasn't a fun performance tonight. Not at all. We're going to talk about it. Let's see the chat. Refs killed us finishing this Friday. Refs didn't help. No doubt about it. Refs did not help in that second half. Right? That third quarter was ridiculous in a lot of ways, and the Knicks didn't handle their adversity right with other factors as well. Refs did not officiate a consistent game, in my opinion, tonight on both ends, but it is what it is. This is more about what the Knicks didn't do tonight, but I wasn't happy with the refs, especially with the way they treated our star tonight. We're going to get into it. You know what I mean? Shout out to Dorian checking in, brother. I appreciate that. And let's get into it, man. Listen. The Knicks just did not play well tonight in that second half. That third quarter got out of hand. And again, I said give the Celtics credit. The turning point of this game was the third quarter of doom, which has plagued this team a lot of times this year. The third quarter of doom, man. We even saw it in the Detroit series. The Knicks actually tried a layup line to get them going in third quarters. But this was just not a good performance from the Knicks tonight in the second half. And, you know, when you got the champs on the ropes, you got to land a haymaker. And you got to be able to take the punches. Now, they've done a good job all series before this game of swinging back, hitting back, matching the physicality, matching the runs, and going right back at the champs. Tonight, it got away in that third quarter. As they lose tonight, 127-102, they still lead the series 3-2. I am still confident this series will be taken care of on Friday. I wanted it to happen tonight. It did not happen. It was a combination mostly of the Celtics. They played great. They made their stand, and they did not want to die on their home court tonight. And the Knicks let the game get away in that third quarter. That is what the problem was tonight. And it was basically the same old. There's reasons I got to vent about tonight that I did not like from my players tonight. You know, again, you gotta expect the champs are not gonna go on without a fight. You gotta take it from them. You gotta, especially in their building. I mean, if you know the game and you watch basketball, you know that the champions are not gonna go out without a fight, man, and especially in their building. And the Knicks just didn't match the effort in the second half. Bottom line, man. Dorian says, I told my co-workers Boston got the next man up. If they show they got a chance, but we need to get it done Friday. Knicks need to show up. Absolutely. They have to show up Friday, and I think they will. I think this is just one of those perfect shit storms that just got away. And, you know, again, you give the Celtics credit. Give them credit. I'm not going to give them all the credit because, to me, this was more about what the Knicks didn't do tonight, not about what the Celtics did do, okay? We know what the Celtics are. They're a feast of famine, three-point shooting team. That's what they are. When they are making their threes in the clip that they made in Game 3 and the clip they made in Game tonight, it is a very difficult to beat a team like that in that kind of a game, especially if you don't match the smarts and the effort on the court. You're not going to beat them. Not in their building. It's not going to happen. And the Knicks just didn't do that tonight. They just didn't. Cliff checking in. What's goody, Cliff? What's going on, bro? Bro, I need some antacids shaking my damn head. Yeah, it wasn't pretty tonight. That second half was not pretty, man. You know, halftime, you know, they went into the half, tied up at 59. You're like, okay, Knicks were playing pretty good offensively, but the perimeter defense, again, was having issues and foul trouble with Cat again, you know? So you're like, you know what? They've been here before. They'll figure it out in the second half. And in the third quarter, it just got away from them. It just got away from them, man. You know, and it is what it is. You know, you again, you give the Celtics credit, but this was more about what the Knicks did not do tonight. They just did not match the intensity that Boston came out with in the second tonight. In the second, first half was good. They matched the intensity. They were there. They were right there. But the second half, they did not match it. It unraveled. They got too caught up with the refs, and you know everything changed in that third quarter. Everything, and the turning point of the game really was in the third quarter. They got outscored 32-17, okay? And, you know, Cornette is out there making plays, rebounding, blocking shots. You know, they got hot from three again. You know, it just is what it is. They just didn't match it. And as soon as, you know, Hart, it kind of just got like that. As soon as Hart and Brown got into it, pushing and shoving each other, which is what I like to see. It showed me that the Knicks were not going to take no shit that was going on. Because at the end of the day, there was a lot of physicality going on, and they got frustrated because the refs weren't calling stuff for them, you know, and you got to play through those things. And they played through those things in the first 4 games of the series. They didn't do it tonight. They didn't do it tonight. As much frustrating it is, as you know, and I'm gonna get into it too, because the refs are not out of the, they're not out of the shit show in my book either. I am not blaming the refs tonight, but they did not do another. It was just an inconsistency job, and I'm really upset about it. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because Brunson fouled out tonight, and for him to be called for 5 personal fouls in the third quarter alone is a ridiculous thing to happen. Absolutely ridiculous. And it also happened right after the double text with Brunson and Brown, okay? And all of a sudden now we just want to call everything on one side. You know, calling our superstar 5 fouls alone in the third quarter is a BS job by the refs. I'm not happy about that at all. And ultimately, he fouled out because when the game got out of hand, it was already just too steep a hill for the Knicks to climb. He fouls out. But in my opinion, you can't do that. I'm sorry. You don't disrespect our star like that, NBA. You don't do that, refs. You don't do it. You don't do it. Okay? It's already bad enough that they call ticky-tack crap calls on Cat. Now, Cat makes stupid fouls again in the first half, puts himself in foul trouble with just ridiculous, unnecessary fouls. Especially, I mean, you gotta know, Cat. You gotta know that the refs are clearly targeting you every game, looking for these type of things and stuff. Okay, and as much as you get it's frustrating as a Knicks fan to see Cat go down the court, get hacked to the ground, get no call, and then when he attempts to play defense, they call marginal contact for fouls on him. So you know these things are happening. You can't do them a favor. You can't do those type of things a favor, man. You can't do the Celtics a favor and the refs a favor by getting unnecessary fouls. There was a play where he got his shot blocked, I believe, and he grabs the Celtic player. I don't remember at the top of my head who it was. He grabbed him. Got a third foul right away in the middle and early in the second quarter. Those things, Cat has to stop, man. He's got to stop it. Okay? He's got to realize what they're doing to him. You know, they're targeting him. You got to play smarter, and you got to play through the fouls. And I'm going to get into how I am not happy with his performance tonight because I felt like he did not play through those things and just kind of did the same old when he gets in foul trouble, which is we're going to talk about in a minute. But that third quarter was the third quarter of doom for the Knicks tonight, man. It just was. And this is a big problem right here. Right here. The Celtics shot 22 of 49 from three. 22 of 49. Damn! You can't, you know, a lot of this also, they caught fire. No doubt about it. But I didn't see a lot of contesting the way I saw in Game 4 at the Garden. There was not enough contesting for me tonight. You know, too many breakdowns defensively on switching and, you know, open shooters. The ball movement was good tonight for Boston. And when they saw the Knicks were having problems with the switching and, you know, communicating, too many breakdowns, they went to it and they feasted out there. They feasted. I mean, 22 of 49 from three. Not gonna beat teams like in the playoffs when you're giving up 22 3-pointers. You're just not, especially with this team, the way Boston it builds their team around that. They are all in on 3-point shooting. And it's a feast of famine thing. And this one of the biggest reasons why the Knicks are up in this series and came into this series up 3-1 was they played good times against them at the three, but tonight just wasn't it. It was just the contesting wasn't there, man. The intensity to stop that just was not there. Too many breakdowns defensively as well. And I'm just not feeling it. I'm just not feeling that, man. I'm not feeling that at all. At all. A-Mac checks in. What's good, A-Mac? He says, Cat playing like a 6'1 guard. Yeah. I mean, it was just too much finesse tonight for Cat. And, you know, we talked about this earlier. But anyone that watches this team and watches Cat, you know, this is the issue that he has. And I'm not going to just single Cat out tonight. OG had a bad game tonight, and they must be better in Game 6. Absolutely must be. I mean, I think OG, he shot 1 for 12. We'll talk about that in a minute. Let me address Cat because this is the problem with Cat, I feel. And I like Cat. I think he's a great offensive player, big man. And rebounder. The problem with Cat is he has a problem with staying out of foul trouble. As I mentioned earlier, he's got to do a better job of knowing that the refs are targeting him for marginal contact fouls to not give it to him. That's number one. Number two, what I don't like about Cat is sometimes anytime he gets into foul trouble, he kind of like just fades out of the offense and kind of just like the aggressiveness goes away until they try to force him the ball. You got to play through those things in the playoffs, and you got to attack. You got to attack. You can't stop attacking because you're frustrated because the defense, the foul trouble you're in doesn't allow you to be aggressive defensively the way you would like. You're too important to the team. There's been too many times this year he's done that, and it's frustrating to see. It's frustrating to see, you know, him not getting the respect from the refs that he should be getting when he's being aggressive and attacking. But you got to keep going. You got to keep going. You got to push through those things. And too many times I've seen that this year. It's my only gripe with Cat is the foul trouble stuff. Because when he's on the court and he's locked in, he's basically unguardable at his position. But a lot of times when he gets into foul trouble, he tends to not be aggressive, to defer and let it be. That's not what we need, especially against the champs. So, Cat, you got to be better than that, man. You got to. You can't play like that. I mean, you only took 9 shots. He had 9 overall shot attempts with 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter. That is unacceptable. I'm sorry. That's unacceptable, man. Don't wait until we're down 20-something when the game is basically decided to be more aggressive, taking shots, and then also for Tibbs to get poor play. See, this is another thing. Sometimes I want Tibbs to say, you know what? F it. We're going to Cat. We're going to. Especially when Brunson's in foul trouble. I need that. But I'm putting more of this tonight on Cat's aggressiveness. He let the foul trouble affect his game tonight offensively, and that is a no-no. Okay? Now, listen, he's playing with an injured finger. I get it. Okay? I'm not trying to make excuses. He's banged up. We know that. He's been playing with injuries a lot of the season. Broken fingers on his hand injury, knee issues and stuff. I didn't see the aggressiveness tonight. I didn't see him, he didn't have explosion jumping up. I don't know if that's because of that, but I'm going to put this on him being not aggressive enough. That has to stop. It is the playoffs, dude. You have to know, especially, you can't always just say, F it, it's not my night, they're not letting me play. You got to push through those things. Now, he's done that. This series, he's done those things. Tonight, he didn't do that, and I have a problem with that. It has to change. You can't expect that. I understand Tatum didn't play. I get that. But you can't just assume, hey, Tatum's not playing. Hey, we'll figure it out. Whatever. It's not my night tonight. No. Go out there and attack. That is a problem for me. Cat has to be better than that with his aggressiveness in these situations. It's time now. You can't be playing, just not being aggressive and intense. That team in Boston, they are the world champions for a reason. They were coming out to fight tonight. They were not going out without a fight. And the Knicks as a team did not fight enough with intensity to overcome those things tonight, especially Cat. He got to be better going forward. He got to be. And I expect it. Eric checks in and says, what's good, Eric? Good to see you chimed in. He says, we lost our focus in the third quarter. Yes, absolutely. Cat tricking off with stupid-ass fouls. Yeah. I mean, you can't. Listen, again, and I'll say it again. I get pissed off when the refs do not give Cat the respect calls he deserves when he's attacking offensively. And then they turn around and they call marginal contact on Cat when he's defending. Listen, I get all that. Tonight was not about that. This was more about him not being aggressive enough. And 9 shots with 6 minutes left in the third in the game, not unacceptable to me. I can't have that. Especially when I'm seeing Cornette blocking his shots, being aggressive out there defensively. Hey, the Celtics, they were the aggressive team in the second half, especially in that third quarter. That's a problem. Cat, you can't do that no more going forward. Can't do it. You can't just go out there and assume, oh, well, you know what? It's not my night tonight. F it. We'll figure it out. Tatum's not playing. We can't do that. Not in the champ's house. And it bit them tonight. It bit them in the ass tonight. And again, it wasn't just Cat, but he is the bigger culprit to me tonight than OG was. Okay? And we're going to talk about OG as well because he had a shit game too tonight, to be honest. But see, with OG, I just feel like he just had a bad shooting night. With Cat, this was more about him not attacking. He was not aggressive. That is not what the Knicks need going forward. Okay? And if we get past this series, which we should, but if we get past this series, you can't have those kind of games against Indiana either. So this has to stop. He's got to just figure it out, man. And I'm confident he will. I'm confident this team will. But right now, tonight, we'll focus on this performance tonight, and it was unacceptable. Unacceptable for Cat to play that way. Got to be better than that. You're too talented, man. Cliff says, how the Celtics got like 7 Klay Thompsons. Yeah, it was crazy out there. They got like 7 Klay Thompsons and, without their Curry tonight. That's just what. But again, bro, that's what the Celtics are. They are a feast or famine 3-point shooting team. When they're hot like this, it's basically impossible to beat them. Especially when Tatum is with them. And any team shoots 22 3-pointers, most of the time they're going to win those games, even if they don't have their star player. So I feel like if the Knicks would have just came out with the same intensity that I saw in games 1, 2, and 4, they could have had a shot to still withstand that tonight. But they did not do it, and they got burned. And in both games that they played without the intensity, okay, both games they lost. And in both games, they gave up a huge amount of 3-pointers. That is not coincidence. That's a pattern, and that should show that if they played up to their capability, they will beat this team. They've shown it already. They've done that. Okay? They have been the better overall team in the series to this point, even when Tatum was healthy. Okay? But the margin of error is very small when you're playing a team like the defending champions. And when the margins of error is small, you cannot have games where you don't have the intensity consistently. You just can't have it. You're going to get beat. You're going to get beat. If you would have told me Mitch would be 6 for 6 from free throws, I think we win the game. Yeah, Mitch actually hit his free throws tonight. I mean, I mean, you think you would. I absolutely agree, Cliff. You would think coming into this game, you check the boxes, right? You're like, okay, intensity on the Knicks, check. Brunson, being him who he is, superstar, check. 20 and 10 double-double from Cat, check. OG, stifling defense, little 15 to 20 points, check. McCall, doing what he does, check. You would think if we get 6 or 6 from Mitch from the free throw line, this game is the Knicks game to have. But guess what? We got that, but didn't get the other boxes. And that's what got us, man. That's what got us. Shout out to Mitch. Hey, he did his job tonight. And I thought in the first half, he was basically our biggest game changer in that first half, in the first half. And I wonder why Tibbs kind of went away from him a little bit with the double lineup, because the double lineup was working. It worked. And even when Towns went out in foul trouble, when Mitch was in there, he did a good job, man. He did a real good job, man. Real good job. And shout out to him making his free throws tonight. I even saw it looked like he kind of changed his mechanics on the free throws. Little less bending with the knees and just went straight up and over the top. And it worked out tonight, So, hey, let's hope we can get a little bit of that in Game 6. That's it. But we know what Mitch is there to do. He's there to defend and rebound, especially on the offensive glass. He did his job tonight. The problem is the Knicks were terrible shooting night tonight, and it unraveled in the third quarter. I mean, the team just did not play well enough in the second half. It just got away, man. It just got away. Simple as that. Eric says White was raining shit early. We had them right way we won a close game and a half, and it started arguing calls while Boston started hooping. Yeah, I agree with that, man. I agree with that. I mentioned it earlier. I felt like they let the refs frustrate them, and it was just a little too much complaining. Now, Hart was pissed off, obviously, because he got an elbow in the eye. We all saw it. Looked like a UFC fight. His whole face was bleeding. His eye was barely open for the rest of the game. And he's out there fighting. And, he was mad because they didn't call it a flagrant. And he just felt like, and you could see that the Celtics were trying to bully tonight. They were trying to hurt. They were trying to, be extra contact after the whistles and extra, it was a little bit of that. Not flagrantly all the time, but you could see that they were targeting, trying to play that chippy kind of game or whatever, and try to get the refs to get into the whole, call the fouls and all of that so we can get them in foul trouble and play their game. So it is what it is, and the Knicks just did a little bit too much. They let that shit frustrate them in that third quarter. And we just never stopped the three-point shot. Derek White had a game of his life tonight. I think he had like over 30 tonight. Let me check that. I mean, he was raining them down. He was raining them, man. He was raining them. Let me just check real quick the numbers on White. Yeah, he had 34. He had 34 tonight, 9 of 16 shooting, and 7 of 13 from three. I mean, you can't allow that. You can't allow that to happen, especially when you got Jaylen Brown having a good game. Jaylen Brown was great tonight. He had 26, 12, and 8, you know. He had a real solid shooting game, you know. So, listen, offensively, it was the Celtics' nights tonight, but the Knicks got to fucking do better with their intensity against them, and they gotta do better attacking them on perimeter defense. They gotta close out better. Okay, they gotta close out better, man. Simple as that. Or it's gonna be a long day. That's what Boston wants team. Boston does that to every team they play, man. When you don't close out and they're hitting those threes, good luck. It's gonna be a long day. The Man Cave checks in. What's good, bro? Salute to the Man Cave. He says, what's good, bro? The Knicks went to the free throw line 40 times tonight. The problem was poor shooting from Bridges and OG. No excuses. They were 5 of 26, and they were not in foul trouble. They bitched up. No. Not them. I never said they was in foul trouble. Cat was the one in foul trouble, and Brunson was in foul trouble. Brunson getting 5 fouls in the third quarter alone was ridiculous. I'm sorry. No one could tell me that they saw 5 fouls committed by Jalen Brunson in that third quarter. That was ridiculous. And it all festered right after the double text on Brown and on Brown and Hart. All of a sudden, they wanted to call every fucking foul, every marginal contact, any little thing with an attempt to control the game. But then after that, 5 on Brunson in the third quarter. Think about that, folks. They called 5 personal fouls on our superstar in the third quarter. They could kick rocks with that BS. Okay, that was uncalled for. Okay, I could accept that from Cat mostly because Cat be getting into foul trouble. But to do that to Brunson is ridiculous to me. Now, again, I'm not saying that's the reason we lost tonight, because obviously we were terrible shooting tonight. I mean, like you said, Man Cave, it was terrible. Okay, look at the Knicks. They shot 35% from the field. You're not beating nobody shooting 35% from the field in a playoffs game. You're not doing it. No, it's not happening. Unless you're in the 90s, unless there's a time warp, you're back in 90s basketball. Teams don't win playoff games in today's NBA shooting at 35% from the field. In the NBA, in the playoffs, it is about a bucket and rebounding. That is the main thing. Yes, defense plays a part. No question about it. But the way the rules are against defensive players in this league now, it is mostly about a bucket and rebounding. The Knicks didn't get buckets tonight. They just didn't. And it goes back to, again, as I was saying with Cat, with his aggressive garbage. He did not play aggressive, which pissed me off. But OG was awful tonight. I mean, he just had a bad shooting night. And it happens. And like you said also, Man Cave, you know, Bridges started off very well in the first half, but second half wasn't there. He had an off night. Bridges shot 4-14, 9 points. No good. I mean, OG Anunoby shot 1 for 12 from the 1 for 12. I mean, that's not getting it done. Sorry, that's not. And I love OG. Hey, players have bad nights. I get it. 1 for 12 was a big problem. That's a big problem. They got to be better next time. They just have to. You know, I just hope, me personally, I hope that little cramp calf leg thing is not affecting him. We'll see. I expect him to bounce back next game, man. We will see. Man Cave also says Knicks defense was pure ass. Yeah, it was. Double teaming every damn body when they didn't have to. That's why Celtics shooters were left. Yeah, because you know what? You know something? It's more about the communication. It wasn't really so much the double. It was the rotations were awful. I mean, the switching and everything was bad. Communicate. There was a couple of times Brunson and Cat, they getting caught up with miscommunications on the switch. They switch it to the same guy, leaving the shooters open. Unacceptable. You can't do that. You can't do that. You can't, and that's the bottom line. And too many times I'm seeing lagging off the, why are you backing up? Why are you backing up off the shooter? There was times, man, K, and you're right. You're absolutely right. The perimeter defense was ass tonight. No question about it. Too many open shooters. But how many times did we see, like, dudes are just directly in front? They do the switch, right? And they're giving too much space. They're backing up. And I'm like, what are you backing up? Play up, play up. I'm in the liberal screaming like, play up on him. Oh, shit. Boom, another three. That's that. You can't have that. You got to be better than that. We didn't do that in Game 4. In Game 4, they challenged those shooters, especially in the second half in Game 4 at the Garden. They challenged. That was not the case tonight. And again, that to me is about intensity. The Knicks did not match Boston's intensity tonight of them fighting on their last stand in their home court. The Knicks did not do that in the second half, and they unraveled when the game got away from them in that third quarter. A-Max says Boston just hit another. Yeah, 22 or 49 from three, bro. I mean, come on. You're not who are you going to beat with that? Who are you going to beat with that? Oh, my guys, Aboriginal Sports Network. Shout out to the Aboriginal Sports Network. Yo, what's goody, y'all? What's goody, bro? Appreciate you checking in, man. For those that don't know, y'all need to go to these guys, man. They do a tremendous job over there. Go hit a subscribe button to these guys, man. Absolutely great content. They got every sport covered over there as well. The good guys, they do a tremendous job, man. Go give those guys a sub, man. As you can see, I am not too happy tonight, guys. I am not too happy. Aboriginal Sports Network, shout out to those guys. I am not happy tonight about this performance, man. But I am not losing faith. I am confident we will get this series done. I just wish it would have been better tonight, man. I just don't like the intensity. If you're going to get beat playing at your best. And I just feel like the Knicks did not do that tonight. They did not play their game tonight. He also says, this Pat Knicks was not focused enough for real. Yeah. They did not play with that intensity, man. You got to match it. I mean, for Christ's sakes, you're in the champs fucking building, bro. You're in their building and they're facing elimination. Did you really think they were going to roll over in the second half? Come on now. Come on. You got to be better than that. And you know what? I expect better at the Garden Friday night. I expect that from opening tip on. That has to be our night, and I believe it will be our night. Obviously, I wanted to get it done tonight, for a lot of reasons. Number one, I wanted to see Boston cry. I want to see the Boston fans cry. We already got 2 games in their building. Would have been sweet to close them out there, but it didn't happen tonight, obviously. And number 2, the Pacers, they get more rest, waiting on us. So, it is what it is. And it's funny. This is a carbon copy almost of Game 5 against Detroit when the Knicks clearly had a chance to take care of business and they didn't do it. And they just didn't play well and they got beat. Well, and that was a close loss when that happened. And that was a game the Knicks should have won. They just didn't shoot well. And this was a carbon copy of the same thing. The Knicks stars did not shoot well, at all tonight in Game 5. This is about what the Knicks did not do tonight. This is about what the Knicks did not do. And the fact that Boston got hot from 3 and never stopped raining them threes down. I mean, it was crazy. It was just crazy tonight. I mean, it was like it was raining. I mean, I'm just like it's crazy. It was terrible, man. The defense, I mean, the perimeter defense.
This guy stinks.
I'm just like, what the hell? And Cat, I'm sorry, Cat got to be better, man. And I fucks with Cat. I do. But I got to call it how I see it. You can't have 9 total shots with 6 minutes left in the game. You just can't. Got to be more aggressive, man. Got to do that. And OG's got to do better. 1 for 11 from 3. Get that shit. 1 for 11, not from 3. I apologize. 1 from 11, 1 for 12 on the field is just not going to get it done. Not going to get it done. Cliff says, imagine if Lukembo hit some threes himself. That kind of night. Yeah. And you know what? You got to also give credit to Mazzulla too, because Kornet was clearly the better big man tonight out of the both teams tonight. He made the biggest impact out of all the centers tonight and big men tonight, because Porzingis was getting his ass handed to him in that first half. Now, I don't know if there was something wrong with Porzingis, but I don't think we saw him in the entire second half. He made a change on that, and he saw that Porzingis wasn't getting it done, and he went to the guy that was making the most impact. And listen, he outplayed Cat tonight, and that's unacceptable to me. I can't have that. No. And that's mostly because Cat just didn't have intensity tonight. In a closeout game against the champs in their building. That's why sometimes people say he's soft at times. And I don't believe he's soft. I think he's a finesse caliber kind of a player in his style of play. But I don't think he's soft. I just think his intensity doesn't always stay there when he's in foul trouble, and he too many times just accepts like, it's not my night. We got Jalen. Jalen will do it tonight, or OG will do it. No. We need you 100 at all times, because when you're 100 at all times, more times than not, the Knicks are going to be successful. Bottom line. And I hope, and I expect him in Game 6, and I hope so, but I expect him in Game 6 to be better. Aboriginal Sports Network says, yeah, Kornet was on 1 tonight. Yeah, he had a great game tonight. Listen, you give Kornet credit. He played with that kind of intensity. He knows he's a limited player, but he plays a specific role. But he recognized that Mazzulla went to him and showed confidence in him, and he played a great game tonight. Probably had the game of his life tonight. I've never seen Kornet play that good. He's always been a solid big role player, but the impact he had tonight, I had never seen him have that. Damn sure not when he was with the Knicks. But, give him credit. But, again, this comes down to the Celtics wanting it more tonight than the Knicks, and I don't like that. The Knicks have to do better. They cannot just unravel in the third quarter like that and let a team desperate like that want it more. You got to match it. When you got the champs on the ropes, you put them out. That's it. You don't give them life. The Knicks gave them life in that third quarter, and it got away from them. Simple as that. They got to be better in the next game, and I'm sure they will. But tonight was Boston's night. You give them credit. You give them credit for what they did, standing on business in their building, facing backs against the wall, losing their star. You knew they were going to be juiced up because they wanted to play and win something for Tatum. You know what I'm saying? And they protected their home court. So now it is up to the Knicks to do the same and get this done Friday night. Because even though I still feel they can win a Game 7 in Boston, you don't want to go to no Game 7 in Boston, man. It should not have to come down to that. You go in your building and you take care of business, Knicks. Bottom line. That is your game. This is your series, your game to win. Especially coming off this kind of a performance with intensity like that. Don't come to the Garden with that. You are the better team. You've been the better team in this series. You go out there and you take care of business Game 6 Friday night. Bottom line. So that's going to wrap up tonight's show. Hey, not a good night for the Knicks. They take it on the chin tonight. They lose to the Celtics 127-102, and they still leave the series 3-2. They had a chance to close it out tonight, but didn't get the job done. Hey, gotta just scrap. Hey, you just gotta just wash this away. Throw it away, Knicks. Get focused, get prepared for a raucous Garden crowd on Friday, as the next game will be Game 6 Friday with a chance at MSG to close out a series against the world champion Boston Celtics. Listen, before this season, before the playoffs or even the season, if you would have said to Knicks fans, hey, Game 6, MSG, chance to beat the defending champions and move on to the Eastern Conference Finals, we would have signed up for that. We would have signed up for that. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. We would have signed up for that. This is where we're at now. You take this, you throw it out, get rid of it, it's over. Water under the bridge. Focus on getting this game, and I feel like the Knicks will prevail on Friday. I have not lost any confidence in this team, but they got to be better than this. They got to be better, because if they have the same effort in this second half on Friday, they're going to get beat. And I think this should be the wake-up call. Last time in Game 5, they had a shitty game performance against Detroit. They stepped up and got the job done Game 6 in Detroit. This time you're in your building. You're going to have a chance to do something they haven't done in 25 years. A closeout game at MSG. The Knicks have to do and get the job done. And I am confident that they will. Last comment of the night. Aboriginal Sports Network says, hey, keep doing your thing, bro. For real, for real. Great show. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that, guy. Thanks for checking in. I appreciate it. And I appreciate everybody joining me tonight. You know me. I'm going to be here no matter what, win or lose. You know, that's what us diehard fans do. And that's what this channel is about, y'all. That's what this channel is about. Born for sports. We talk all sports. You know what I mean? And we ride or die for our teams. And it don't get no better than this. The Knicks have a chance. Game 6, everybody. Game 6 at MSG Friday night to advance to the Eastern Conference Finals. It's time, y'all. It's time. So any Knicks fans out there, hey, man, go out there, be loud, support the team, y'all. Give them that edge that we gave them in Game 4 out there, man. Because I feel like this is going to be a big-time performance at night. And, hey, that's what we got to hope for. We flush this crappy game tonight, and we focus on the next one and getting the job done. And that's what I feel like. And you know that whenever Jalen Brunson or this team has an off game or a bad game, you know they usually step up and answer the bell the very next opportunity. I expect no less than that Friday night. Knicks Nation, salute. Thank you for joining me tonight. I appreciate it. And for those who are new to the channel, I ask that you do one thing. Hit that subscribe button. Smash that subscribe button to Born for Sports, because, folks, I talk all sports, and not just all sports, especially New York sports. As you can see, diehard Knicks fan. Can't wait for Friday night already. Diehard New York Giants fan. Hey, schedules dropped today, y'all. I dropped some my feelings on the schedule, and I'm going to tell y'all right now, I am not afraid of the Washington Commanders. Let's go Giants, baby. Let's go Giants. I am not afraid of the Commanders week 1. Let's set that tone. But that's a story for another day. I talk New York Mets baseball. Diehard Mets fan right here. I see we lost tonight. Hey, Subway Series is coming, y'all. Friday night. Should be electric atmosphere in New York, with the Knicks looking to close out and advance to the Eastern Conference Finals. And then the Subway Series between the New York Mets and New York Yankees. Ooh, New York going to be litty this weekend. I talk New York Yankees baseball. I talk New York Jets football. I talk Brooklyn Nets basketball. I talk about whatever you want to talk about in the world of sports, especially New York sports. Shout out to Knick Nation. Like and subscribe to Born for Sports. Let's go Knicks.